Podcast.
All right. Welcome to the Broke Man's Podcast. DJ, how we doing today, man?
Man, you know how it goes, dude, honestly. Breath of fresh air, every single day, man. Just doing good. Just feeling good.
All right. It's good to have you here, man. I love that. I love the fit. Love the Jordans.
I appreciate it.
Love
My
the
girl
Jordans.
got these for me. You know what I mean? So
I see you keep them clean.
I do my best. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She told me keep them clean. So
All right.
I
So,
do.
in the Broke Man's Podcast, we're going to start it off with a little bit of gratitude today. I am thankful for the ability to move forward while being sick or under the weather, whatever you want to call it. And I'm grateful for the ability to do this, and I'm definitely grateful for knowing you and knowing Levi as well.
appreciate that, man.
All right.
I'm grateful for choice, that opportunity to be able to choose, because every single day, you know what I mean. However you want your day to go is on you at the end of the day. So it's a choice to make it a great day, make it a bad day. It's a choice to obviously choose what you get to eat, get to drink, all that stuff, man. So at the end of the day, man, I'm grateful for choice. So
Amen.
I would say I'm grateful for friends and family and inner peace right now. I think that's a big one. Something I've been practicing and focusing on is trying to be happy with where I'm at as I'm still progressing forward.
I like that. All right. Let's kick it off, man. We're going to kick it off with effort. And DJ right here is a phenomenal athlete still to this day and keeps moving. And the way he talks about effort, I have not heard before. So we're going to kick that off with a story from DJ from college about effort and intentionality and how it came to you.
yeah, 100%. So, man, where to start? College was crazy. Coming out of high school, like Gary had mentioned, I had a lot of accolades, but genuinely that wasn't really even the most important thing to me. It was the lessons that I learned. I had a really awesome mentor, my head coach, really awesome mentor that was a friend of his and a really good friend of mine, that just taught me how to be intentional with my time, and to just put as much effort as I possibly can into situations. You're not always going to be able to give 100%, but at the end of the day, you still have a percentage to give, so you might as well give it. So when I got into college, I lost myself. I went about 8 hours away. I played ball at North Dakota State, and it was a good time, man, but maybe a little bit too good of a time.
Yeah.
I started to lose myself big time. So
What do you mean by that?
just being away from friends and family and not having my mentors as close to me as I once did, and not having that constant reminder of intentionality and effort, it brought me down. So I started to do things I normally wouldn't do. Started getting into drinking, and choosing that as a fun pastime, and just kind of other recreations, and I stopped being intentional with my time. I stopped choosing effort. It wasn't a good deal, man. Like I said, I started to lose myself in college, so for sure.
Do you feel like part of that was because you moved away, you lacked that accountability that you had back when you were at your home and your coach and all of that?
Yeah,
your
honestly.
support system?
Yeah, that's a good way to put it, honestly. Like, if you want to keep it short and sweet, I was no longer held accountable by the people that were close to me, because they weren't necessarily there anymore.
So how'd you pull yourself out of that? You said you were losing yourself. At what moment did you realize something needs to change? And what brought you out of that?
It was years later. My college career lasted for 5 years. And it wasn't until probably about a year after I left college when I realized. I woke up one day after, a night out, and I looked at myself in the mirror, and I just asked myself, what are you doing? What am I doing right now? And it was genuinely ever since that day of just really taking the time to look at myself and look deep into myself and realizing that I wasn't going in the direction I wanted to go in. This wasn't me. And it's time to lock in and figure it out and change.
Oh, so what does effort mean to you as an athlete, a father, and a husband?
So, I mean, for me, kind of going back to what I said before, it's just giving everything that you got in that moment. There are days when I come home, I work 10-hour days, 4 days a week, and I don't have 100% to give. So I communicate that. But at the end of the day, I still have some percentage. There's something still in there, no matter if it's deep down or right there at the surface. Like there's still a percentage I have to give. And as long as I don't give myself that opportunity to make an excuse that, oh, I'm tired, take the easy way out.
Fighting against that resistance.
Yeah, 100%.
That's telling you, oh, I'm tired. Telling you, oh, I'm tired, and we deserve to lay down, or we deserve to not do this. I should be able to get home and be lazy and let the other partner do the rest of the work.
Yeah.
But that's when effort and intentionality kicks in, and realizing it's more than just you. It's not just about you.
Oh, yeah.
So I like that a lot, man. I commend you on that.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah.
Absolutely. What do you look forward to the most now that you're a newfound father?
Just watching my little girl grow. She's a month old now, and she's changed so dramatically already.
Yes.
Everything is different. You can tell she's learning new things. She's figuring things out. Her eyes get a little wider every single day. So just watching her learn and understand the world it's crazy. It's amazing.
Do you think she's going to notice all that effort that you put in as a man and as a father? Because as you know, daughters look up to their fathers a lot, and it's practically they're learning how to actually date and learning what a man is. So when it comes to effort, yes.
Yeah. I'm very, very confident to say that when it comes down and gets to that point in time where she starts to really be able to pick up on those cues and those social cues, that she will realize and notice the effort that I put in.
And I think more than that, it's when your child is looking up to you, they might not at this point see those steps you're taking, but they see the end result because they see who you are and they see your character behind it.
Yeah.
So I think that's even that can be a heavier part, is because she's going to be looking for people that share those values. She's not, and I think that's important, even more important than looking for people that are trying to practice those values, because there's some people that try and practice those values and then they fall short because they're not motivated to keep that going.
Yeah.
So the fact that you're showing her that shows that it's possible and that it's something that she can find someone who matches that same type of wavelength and that same energy and that same moral code that they follow.
Yeah, 100%.
Real quick, so what do you say to men out there when it comes to putting in effort? Nowadays more than ever, because it's not old school like it used to be now. Everybody has to work and everybody has to put in extra effort. And at the same time, even if a woman is staying home and taking care of the kids is a full-time job by itself.
Yeah.
It's a full-time job by itself. It's not just, oh, this is so easy. It's a full-time job by itself. What do you say to those men out there also about waking up for the gym? To the man, so separate. To the man out there that need to wake up and go to the gym, that effort and intentionality behind it. And then to the fathers out there that need to come home and fight through it and put in that effort when they get home after work.
Yeah, I mean, if I had to tell them anything, you got to callous your mind at the end of the day. I mean, it's just about doing one thing right and really, really well, and then repeating that over a course of 30 days. So it's not a matter of, man, like, she's so young, we have so much time, or it's like, man, I only weigh this much, or I weigh too much. It's going to take me forever to get down to this weight. If you're going to look at it in big picture, grand scheme of things, it's going to overwhelm you. It's going to take over. And the effort's not, you might as well just not, because the effort's never going to be there because you're trying to do too much at one time. So it's just doing that one thing right and doing that one thing really, really well, and then repeat it 30 times.
Yeah.
And you'll get where you want to be.
So what is effort to you in totality?
Yeah, in totality, effort to me is giving everything that you got in that moment, in that point, in that very kind of like space and time. So.
Oh, better. What's effort to you as a husband?
As a husband?
Yes.
Yeah. So, for me, it's just consistently being okay with being uncomfortable. That's effort with me as a husband, because at the end of the day, I'm challenged constantly. and consistently, and it's a good thing. It's good challenges. It's things that I want, my lady to be able to challenge me with. So it's just being okay with being uncomfortable consistently.
Oh, and how important is communication when it comes to that effort?
It's really big. It's really big because, like I said before, if I come home and I walk through the door and I don't communicate to her that, hey, I only have 10% today, she's gonna wonder what's the issue, what's wrong, what's the problem, is it me?
And that starts something. If it's
Yeah.
not recognized or communicated, that builds resentment.
Yeah.
Even the littlest piece of resentment could turn into a monster inside the fog.
Mm-hmm.
So communicating that, I'm happy I know you, and I'm very proud of you too, because you're big on communicating, even working through any issue that you have. So that's huge, man. That's very huge.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. And your daughter is going to see that effort and that intentionality, and you're always moving forward as a father, a husband, a person, an entrepreneur. That's just who you are. That's just who you are. When did that effort actually kick in and start and put a light of fire underneath your seat? It's like, okay, I got to get out there and do this.
I mean, honestly, it kicked in and lit a fire when I met, Rosemary. When I met her, and saw how honestly good of a woman she was, and how much just kind of, potential she had as just an individual in general.
The growth mindset.
I mean, it was incredible. There was a lot of people that I had met before that I didn't see with that potential. And when I ran into her and we started having conversations, it genuinely blew me away with just kind of the ideas and the words that she had to say, and how much she listened to me, and how much I saw that she was willing to love me. And at the time when I met her, I was, bottom of the barrel. I was pretty low. I was just on my way up. Still do personal training, but at the time I was personal training, I wasn't making a whole lot, by any means. Ripping around in my '05 Honda Civic. So at the end of the day, man, she was just finally that person who looked at me and saw me. She didn't look around at all the materialistic things that I had, and she didn't ask me, what do you have to offer, material wise. She said, can you love me? Can you take care of me? And can you grow with me? And I said, yeah.
Can you grow with me? I love that. Seriously. I love that. And with growth comes effort and communication.
Yeah.
It always comes back to effort and communication. Effort is a main component for love to me.
Yeah.
Intentionality and effort, putting in the effort to grow, putting in the effort to realize you're not always right, putting in that effort to communicate, putting that effort into listening, putting that effort into being there. Effort is a main component of love.
Yeah.
I kid you not. For me, I can say that effort is a big part of love. Does it take an immense amount of discipline to cultivate effort, to learn how to put in effort?
To learn how to put in effort, you got to be disciplined.
Yeah.
I would say that it does take a pretty decent amount, for sure, of discipline in order to be able to put in an efficient amount of effort.
Yes, go for it.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I think with effort, the main thing is you have to be intentional about it.
Yeah.
It has to be something where if you're not doing something with the intent of showing your love to that person, then what are you doing it for? If you're doing it for a self-gaining reason, then there's not true effort there, in my opinion, and it's not true love in that aspect of it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna ask with the effort, with that type of conversation. You said communication is very important. Would you say your wife is the one that holds you accountable and is the one that keeps you going with all the things that you do, all the different facets that you try and work through?
Yeah, 100%. And I appreciate her for that. She's very, very blunt. It's awesome.
That's
I love it because I'm very straightforward myself. Where it's like, if you got a problem with me, just let me know. Literally, just this morning, I didn't fill the toilet paper roll when I left for the gym this morning, and guess what? As soon as I walked through the doors of the gym, she texted me and she let me know, hey, next time when you empty the toilet paper, can you make sure to fill it with a new roll because
She
you know,
told you, though.
yeah,
Yeah.
she told me, she let me know, like even like little things like that, right?
Yeah.
So
That's a big thing.
Yeah.
If I walk in that bathroom and I know I'm about to drop the kids off at the Super Bowl, and there's no tissue in the bathroom, I'll hit my roommate up real quick.
Yeah.
Like, bro, where's this tissue paper at, man?
100%.
And I gotta, cause you gotta sit. Like, how you supposed to figure that out?
Yeah,
Everybody's been in that moment when as soon as they sit up, cause you gotta go. And you
Yeah.
sit down and you sit down and you're going. And you look around like, bro, there's no tissue around. What
There's
am I supposed to do?
Nowhere.
There's nowhere. What do you do?
You start reaching for drawers and stuff. Because you don't want to stand up. You don't want to stand up. And you're not pulling your pants back up at that point. You know what I mean? So you gotta waddle.
Oh man.
You gotta do the waddle of shame, bro.
Oh man, there's
Yeah.
so many things that go on in that department. We'll skip over that. Oh man, how do you keep your passion intact as a person?
Discipline.
Yeah,
Discipline, 100%. Yeah. Obviously, you're passionate when you're truly passionate, genuinely passionate about something. That's you. That's who you are. That's who you want to be, and you have to be disciplined in order to maintain that passion, and you have to be disciplined in order to maintain those small little things and those habits that lead you to those passions.
you know what that takes? Effort.
Effort.
It takes effort.
Yeah.
It takes effort, even a little bit, but it takes effort and it takes action.
Oh yeah.
You definitely got to be intentional about it. You definitely have to be intentional about it.
Yeah.
And every time I like being around you because every time it's very inspirational. If you guys haven't been around DJ or worked out with him or had conversations with him, it's always something that could light you up and you're going. And you're gonna go. Like every time we leave, I'm like, yeah, I need to get back to it. Or if I think I'm doing something right or moving forward, every time we leave each other's presence, I'm like, okay, I need to do some more. I need, even this morning when you walked in and we had our quick conversation, I was like, all right, time to step it up. So yeah, I like that. I like that energy and I like that brotherhood of it too, man, because you push me to do more. And I really appreciate that as well. And I know that you push your friends and you push your family and you even push your spouse when it comes to communication and
Yeah.
everything. And you guys do so well with that. For real. You guys exemplify that so well.
Yeah.
And it's, yeah.
Man,
So
I
how do you-
appreciate her.
Absolutely. You got
Appreciate
to.
you guys.
Absolutely. We appreciate you too, man.
Appreciate it.
Seriously. When it comes to the gym and putting in effort, how early do you wake up to hit the gym?
So my schedule a little bit different. So I wake up every single morning at 3:00. So I'm up at 3. Yeah, I'm up at 3. I gotta get rolling.
Hold on, man. Hold on. Don't
so
finish. Hold on. Wait.
I go to
wait,
work.
wait.
I go to work at
man.
4:30. So you know what I mean. I gotta eat. I gotta go. You know what I mean. And then after I get done with work, I go to the gym. So
3 a.m.
3 a.m.
I haven't woken up in 3 a.m. in probably it's been a few years now. I used to wake up that early for a job. I used to have to wake up at 3 a.m. And then before that, I used to have to wake up at 2 a.m. That is a kicker, boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 a.m. to get to work at 3 a.m. and get it going. And then after you get to work, you got to hit the gym afterwards. And then if you're really intentional and you put in a lot of effort, you still got to do your work. You got to read.
Yep.
You got to practice your gratitude. You got to journal. You got to tend to your wife. You got to tend to the kid. So that takes an immense amount of effort. You got to be more. So it takes a lot to be more, but it's worth every single bit of it.
It is 100%.
I would say. How do you keep yourself balanced as a person, as a father, and as a husband?
I listen. So whether that's I listen to myself, I listen to my body, I listen to my lady, I just listen to my friends. Because at the end of the day, if you want to get something done,
Yes.
give the task to a busy person.
Yeah.
They're going to get it done. They're going to
Yes.
find a way. There's always time in the day. It doesn't matter how busy you truly are. There's always time in the day in order to achieve something and get something done. So, and that takes, you got to listen, obviously, to be able to be aware of, all right, what are the things I need to get done today? Like, what are the important things that are at the top of my to-do list? And what are some things that maybe I could put off for just a little bit and tackle that a little bit later? So,
I like that. How do you stay present within all that?
oh man, so the present piece is gonna be, again, just taking it day by day, task by task, little by little, and actively listening to individuals. I love to do, like, eye contact, like to nod, to make sure like I intentionally do these things to make sure that I stay in the moment. Because if I start looking off, like, I don't know, off into space, into the distance, I can hear you, but it doesn't mean I'm in the moment. I might start thinking about, ooh,
No, you're not listening. You can hear it, but you're not listening.
Exactly. Like I got to go to the grocery store later. I got to do this. I got to do that. But it's being intentional about my active listening that helps me stay present in the moment.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. So having this newfound life, newfound fatherhood, how important is it with you and family? How important and impactful is community for you?
It's huge. It's really important. It's big time. Having you guys and having friends and having family that are that is there for me has made the world a difference. You guys pulling up, and dropping off food, that Rose was super, super, craving, was really, looking forward to right after she had just delivered. It took a huge weight off of me. I could still stay there with them and take care of them. And so it's important, man. It's big. I could go real deep into it, and it's real important. So
Say that one for later. I like it.
yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah, that support of community.
yeah.
With that support, have you felt as if your role in the community and just in general has changed with how you conduct yourself after becoming a father?
Oh, 100%. I would say it changed in terms of I not only I don't only represent myself anymore. I represent Rose and I represent my daughter. And I would hate for them to walk out the door and know that people understand that they're associated with me and it's a poor association. So it's definitely changed big time now. I feel like I carried myself all right, beforehand, but it's every single day now I wake up. It doesn't matter if I run into somebody who's ruining my day. I make sure that I always represent myself because I'm representing them too. So
You conduct yourself as a father and a
yeah,
husband. That's great.
exactly. Yeah,
I think that's awesome.
I appreciate it, man. Yeah,
absolutely.
it's important to me.
And as a person, 'cause
Yeah.
you're still an individual.
Oh, 100%.
And
yeah.
as a person,
Yeah.
you represent that as well. That's big, man. I'm serious. A lot of people do need to hear that.
Yeah.
So back to communication. When did you realize communicating with your partner is everything?
Well, I realized that when we were first kind of in the honeymoon stage,
Yeah.
and we just kind of stopped communicating. We weren't talking to each other about things as much. Couples are going to go through certain situations, certain ordeals at certain times, and we just so happened to kind of figure out a lot of our stuff pretty quickly. So we stopped communicating and talking to each other about how we felt and how things made us feel. And that made me realize how important it was. Like, hey, I don't know what's going on anymore. Like this, I don't, I can't help you if I don't know what it is. So,
How did you fix that with communication?
honestly, like it was crazy. Like we just realized it. Like we looked at each other one day, yeah, and it just went, and we're like, hey, we don't talk. Like, you know what I mean? Like we don't express how we're feeling in certain deals, and I can see physically on you that it's doing something, and you can see physically on me that it's doing something to me. How are we gonna fix this? And that was the biggest thing that really made me realize that this girl was different than the rest, and this girl was gonna be my forever thing, because she looked at me and said, "I feel the same way, and I want to fix this. Let's figure it out." And we just talked.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. You guys talked, you guys figured it out, and you're at this place in life now. You have a beautiful child.
Thank you.
How do you see life now?
How do I see life?
How do you see life now that your child is here? Did it bring a new all to life?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I can't explain it for the people who haven't experienced it yet. Super authentic or authentic enough. But I'll tell just a really, really quick story. Super, super quick. When Rose was in labor and our daughter came out, and she wailed and made that first cry, that first noise.
Yeah.
It just immediate connection. Immediate. You know, my heart just started to go beat a little bit faster, beat a little bit differently. Tears started coming down. I mean, me and Rose looked at each other, and it was almost like we telepathically told each other like our world has just changed, and
Just
we are
beginning.
yeah. Just I mean, we're gonna be the best we can possibly be for this little girl. So it was awesome, man. It's amazing how life changes.
So how do you see, as a father now and moving forward in life and knowing that you have all these things, how excited are you for molding that of your child?
Super excited.
Yeah.
I come home every day from work, and I look forward to seeing both of them. You know, group hugs, kiss on the forehead for both of them. And every day I come home, I look at Rose and I'm flying around. You know,
Yeah.
I'm just doing stuff. You know what I mean? Just making sure everything's taken care of, so that she's not too stressed out. Anything's not too crazy for her. You know, and sometimes she asks me, she's like, "How do you have so much energy?" You know,
Because it's for you guys.
It's for-
it's for you guys.
yeah,
It's
you know?
needed. It's for you guys.
Exactly.
You just put your body through this immense amount of pain to bring our child into this world. So I got it.
Yeah.
I got you.
yeah,
I got you. That's beautiful. That's beautiful, man.
Yeah.
And that's the effort. That's the effort of a father,
yeah.
of a man, and of a. Go ahead. I like that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Has your relationship with your wife changed since having your child?
I would say yes and no. So it hasn't really changed in the manner of like our communication or anything along the lines of that, but our our day to day has changed for obvious reasons. But I mean, we still sit down and we still communicate properly. We let each other know how we're feeling, what we can give that day. We still love each other an immense amount, and would still do anything for each other. But yeah, I would say yes and no. Just the day to day has changed, but that intentionality, the effort portion of it is still the same. The love is still there, if not greater. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
How important is it now to make the world around you better?
Oh man, I mean, like I look around and everything I see, I just imagine what if Vivian was in that situation. You know, Vivian's my daughter. So what if I saw Vivian in this situation, or I saw this happening around her, or even Rose for that matter. You know, what if I saw this happening? So I'm very aware of my surroundings, and if it's something that I just genuinely wouldn't feel okay or comfortable with seeing her in, you know, it makes the world a difference, and makes me obviously want to be able to make the world as safe and sound for her as possible.
So it made you want to go out there and tackle the world more. Did it bring more purpose to life?
Oh, 100%, yeah. I mean, in the next 10 years, I want my little girl to look up at me, and I want my lady to look up at me and say, man, he did it. Everything he told me he was going to do, he did it.
Let's do it.
You know? So,
Seriously.
yeah, it's changed everything.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Let's do it. So it changed the trajectory, or just it's amplified everything.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Everything's so much louder now, and it's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm a machine right now. I just keep rolling, you know? So,
Oh, Father Machine, man. The purpose. So it's family purpose?
yeah, I mean, I don't know. If you're not doing it for somebody else, if you're only just living life for yourself, and for me personally, I genuinely don't know. I don't know what you're doing at that point. If all you're doing is living for you, I understand the self-growth and self-worth and all that stuff is important. Don't get me wrong. But if your only purpose in life is just to be better than everybody else, I don't know.
Self-growth, self-purpose, all that is very important, but at what cost?
Yeah.
You can still grow and have a family. You can still grow and be in a relationship. That helps you grow even more.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, you can grow yourself,
Yes.
but now you're growing a team,
Now you're growing a team. Oh, man, yes.
you know?
Now you're growing a team. The stronger the individual, the stronger the team.
Yeah.
And yeah, doing things, I don't know, doing things only for yourself for that long, for what?
I don't know. Yeah.
For what?
That's what I couldn't answer the question, man. It baffles me every time. Genuinely, it
What?
baffles me every time.
Imagine that, doing all the self-work and everything, and you're doing it all at the expense of for what?
Yeah.
For what? All right, DJ, we are back. I'm going to kick things back off with the story that I had. Very short story about isolation and it not being healthy and feeling unfulfilled, if you want to say. I remember living in an apartment by myself, and this is towards the end of the isolation that I needed. I was like, okay, I need to get out there to the world and actually start doing things and moving forward and putting in action and effort and being very intentional about my moves. I was on the last couple of weeks, I remember going to the grocery store and buying all these groceries and shopping by myself, bringing all these groceries home by myself to a one-bedroom apartment by myself. And I was cutting up tomatoes, onions, and I was making this big feast for myself. And as I sat down and I had everything ready on the table and ready to eat, I looked around and it's like, why am I doing this for myself? It's the emptiest feeling in the world to go through all that, cooking all this food and making this wonderful, delicious meal for myself. And that is when a lot of it hit me, like I need to go out there and start doing and being more and becoming more. I put in all that effort for myself. For myself, it was no longer needed. I was like, okay, my isolation is done. I know what healthy isolation is. It's only needed for a little bit of time, and then I got to go back out into the world and do what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
But isolating myself and staying right here, oh, bro, it was like a train ran through my heart. It was that feeling of just looking around at all the food, all these veggies, the chicken, and just the whole meal, and then I got one plate and the empty table. And as social creatures, as humans, we don't want to be alone. No, we don't want to be lonely.
No, yeah, we don't want to be
man,
alone.
it's lonely. Alone and lonely is a little different. Sometimes it's good to be alone, but when that lonely kicks in, that lets you know that something's going off and that alarm is going off for me. And I need to figure out what's wrong because that loneliness turns into depression, sadness, and anxiety, all these different things. And then you put a label on them, and then it goes everywhere. So I had to figure, okay, I am lonely right now. And I admitted it to myself. And being able to admit that to yourself, step one.
100%, yeah.
It is step one. But I admitted that to myself, and I was okay, what is going on? What is wrong? Oh, I need to change some things about myself. I need to put in some effort and start actually changing things and going out there and being social in a very healthy way and start learning my boundaries. And from there on, man, I haven't stopped. And then I turned into a train myself and just choo-choo the whole way, bro. So, yeah, I remember you had a question for DJ if you want to ask that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So with that, that's the loneliness and feeling self-isolated and all of that. I imagine you don't have a lot of time to even get close to feeling lonely because you're always dealing with the hustle and bustle of work and your kid and your wife and all that and this group as well. How do you find time for yourself in order to like regroup, and where does that time come from?
Yeah, 100%. So I mean, there's a couple of options that I can take throughout the day. Like I said, there's always time somewhere. I don't believe in excuses. So, some days I'll just wake up a little bit earlier, go out. We got this rocking chair kind of out on the other side of the kitchen, and I'll just go sit in there and read the daily affirmations or just kind of open up a book and just take some time for myself. So, I mean, and that part's really easy, just waking up a little bit earlier and just taking 10 minutes. You don't need all day long,
So you make time.
Exactly. Yeah. You gotta make time for yourself.
Absolutely.
I believe that is important. So yeah, it's not something that I complain about. Because if I'm complaining about it, it's my fault. So there's no reason to complain about it anyway. Yeah.
I like that.
Exactly.
I like that. Choice. How important is, you talked about effort and affirmations. How important is it to go over and make those affirmations every day? Actually, read those affirmations and go through them every day. How important is that for you?
So important, man. I remember, when I first wrote the affirmations, right? I would read them not as consistently as I should have. And I could tell the difference between my days tenfold that, reading my affirmations, I would go into the day ready for anything.
Yes, it's a reminder. And on top of that, it's a reminder to the brain.
Yeah.
And you're building up your suit, your armor for the day.
Exactly, 100%. I love that. Like I build up my armor every single day, and it's to the point now where my armor is so strong that I'm unbothered by everything.
Unbothered, yes.
Yeah.
Unbothered. How
You
does
know?
unbothered? How do you move forward when you're unbothered? How does it help out?
I mean, you move through your day so efficiently. I mean, at the end of
Yes.
the day, it's like you're gonna run into somebody, you're gonna run into something, right? That might bother you. You know, it doesn't matter how big or small. But if you understand how to not necessarily put all your effort and pay attention so strongly into that situation, you move so much more efficiently throughout the day.
I can agree with that, especially when it comes to back to affirmations and whatnot, and building that armor up, and having that one affirmation that gets you up out of your bed.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm reminding yourself of who you are and who you're becoming, and how you are moving forward. For me, those affirmations are everything, and I kid you not, I read them at work. I read them in the morning. I try to read them before bed. I even try to go to bed with the affirmations playing underneath my pillow.
Yeah,
Yeah, it represents a lot, and it does a lot for you as well.
it does.
Yeah,
It
feeding
genuinely does.
your mind with the positive energy of who you are becoming and who you want to become, man. And yeah, it takes effort to be put in for that as well.
It does.
It really does.
You make a million excuses not to read them.
Yeah, absolutely. I like that. The choice of being unbothered, because if you're bothered, you're feeding negativity.
Exactly.
When you're doing the affirmations in the morning, you're feeding positivity into your life. Whatever you're giving yourself to consume, whatever you're taking in, is exactly what you're going to give out.
Yeah.
That's how that works.
Yeah,
So,
you nailed that. Yeah.
yeah, keeping that positive mind frame, and even acknowledging when something negative is happening, but not letting it affect how you're gonna do what you're doing, affect your day.
Yeah.
I think that's a huge part of it. You need to always have that positive mindset. If you don't, you're feeding into negativity.
Yeah.
And it's feeding into your downfall
100%.
because you're not gaining anything from that negativity.
No, and to make it super simple, just break it down as simple as possible. I live by an equation. You know, I'm not a big math guy by any means, but I live by a very, very simple equation that helps me never forget that, what you just explained. E plus R equals O. I live by that every single day. And my head coach taught me that in high school. It's your event plus your response equals your outcome. You cannot control your event, but you can control your response. So if I can go through life knowing that I can control my response, I can control my outcome no matter the event. So the uncontrollable portion of that equation is no longer important. So while you don't have to necessarily pay attention to those things, but you can always control your response. Your response is your choice.
Your response is your choice.
So you can control your outcome.
I like that. I did have a certain question for you.
Yeah.
When it comes to your wonderful family, your beautiful wife, and your beautiful daughter, after your wife giving birth, what type of mentality did it bring forth to you to say, I have to fight for my family. I have to take care of my wife. I have to put in a maximum amount of effort for everything that just got brought to me. Did you see your wife in a new light? Did a new awe come up on you? Did more love for the world and for her and to do more for her come up on you?
Yeah. I'm at the end of the day, when I first met her, really quick story. When I first met her, we went to one of her cousin's birthday parties, and her cousin's younger. So, I watched her help dish out some food, and just take care of her little cousin as if it was like her little girl. And when I saw that, I've never seen a girl do that before. Like I've genuinely never seen that happen. Not somebody I was dating, at least. And when I saw that, I already knew what type of feelings I would have for her if we had our own. So, I mean, that was already reinforced into my brain. And then when we had our own, it just completely turned me into myself times 100. You know, it was almost as if nothing is going to stand in my way, and nothing's going to stop me. The only thing that can stop me is me. That's the only thing that will destroy what I can possibly bring and potentially bring to this family.
What do you say to the men out there? A question back in the beginning of the podcast.
Yeah.
To the men out there who are new fathers or veteran fathers, and the wife just gave birth, or the wife just gave her kind of her all. When they give birth, they're giving a lot. It's giving a lot, and I will never be able to understand it.
No.
I will even try to empathize with it, but we can't even.
No.
Can't even.
Yeah, I'd have
But
no
what does
idea.
it take to put in? What do you say to the men out there that need to put in that work and put in that effort to take care of the family, especially after the wife just gave birth? And nowadays we have where a lot of time both partners have to work.
Mm-hmm.
They have to go to work. They have to work 40 plus hours and then come home and do all these things. It's no longer. It should not be on the wife no longer to do everything inside the house.
Yeah.
On top of that, especially if she has a full-time job as well, and then come home to another full-time job as well, and then come home to a husband, which is a full-time job again as well. So what type of message do you send out there to the fathers that need to put in that effort for the family and for the wife?
Nobody cares. Do better.
Mm.
Nobody's gonna save you. Nobody's gonna come in and step in and take those responsibilities that you brought onto yourself. You knew what you were doing 9 months ago. You knew exactly where it was gonna end up. So at the end of the day, nobody cares. Do better. Just get it done. Because the longer you sit there and self-loathe about it, the longer it's gonna take to get done. So if you see the dishes are full in the sink, and your wife, your significant other, is in the other room feeding, you better not wait for her to get done feeding and put her to sleep for her to come and do all of that and take care of those dishes. Because I know that she didn't do all that. You had a portion in that. You had a role to play in that situation. If she's doing something already, you should be doing something. At the end of the day, yeah, I had really, really awesome advice from our buddy Max. And Maximus, he told me, he said, there are no more breaks when you have a child. There are no more breaks when you have a child. Like there's no break time. You know, you're just constantly going. So if you're sitting there feeling sorry for yourself, if you're sitting there feeling lazy,
Get over yourself.
get over yourself. Nobody cares. Do better. Nobody wants to hear you complaining about everyday situations. Just do better. You know what I mean?
Do better. Be more intentional. Put in more effort.
Yeah.
Like you said, if there's some dishes there, bro, you better get them.
You better get them.
You better get them.
I mean, what?
If she can't cook and you can right now,
Man.
you better get it.
You have to.
You better get it.
What are you doing? Like, what else are
Seriously.
you doing? It better be something really important.
Life or death.
100%. It has to.
Life or death.
Because what are you doing in that very time and moment, man?
Yes, get up. There needs to be more effort put in when you get home.
Yeah.
We're all tired. And as men, a lot of times, like we find those little tasks at home, bro, they're exhausting.
Yeah.
we think they're exhausting, but for us, if we're not moving big things or out there tackling the world and pursuing entrepreneurship and all that, when we get home to the little things, we call them little things, but they're not. When we get home to like dishes and things like that and cooking, sometimes we'll find that, I don't know why, we find that like it hurts to do or it's like a lot to do, but we need to put in that, go do it.
Yeah.
Go do it. You got to be more now. Now you got to be more. Nowadays, more than ever, you have to be more.
You have to, yeah.
You have to. If we're both working 40 plus hours and doing it, we are both tackling this house. We are. Gender roles still play on a basic level, but we are both tackling this house.
Yeah. Yeah.
We are both tackling this house. Go ahead, man.
I'm going to just say if one of my friends or someone that I'm close with were to tell me, like complain about their wife and say, yeah, she was feeding, but the dishes were a mess and there was nothing for dinner at that time, I would say, what were you doing? And if your answer is not, I was mowing the lawn, I was doing laundry, I was changing a diaper, if you're not doing anything, I'm going off on you, man.
Video games either.
That's if it's video games, I'm going off on you because you're actively choosing to not help your wife who you chose to have a kid with. You need to hold yourself accountable to that, and you need to grow as a family. You're not going to do that if you're being a lazy bum.
No, you're not.
Especially if both are working. If you are both working a 40-hour-a-week job and you still have the gall to expect her to take care of all of the house chores, You need to readjust everything.
If you expect for her to take care of appointments, for her to run the kids to the games and all these other things, you are dead wrong. You are dead wrong. And if you want to sit there, if you want to stress about a game or playing video games or watching a game with the fellas, no. If you truly have a brotherhood, then you guys should be taking care of those things.
Yeah.
And reminding yourself of each other. Because true life, you're out there to make your kids the best people they can be.
Yeah.
Make your kids the best that they can be. Make sure your wife is taken care of. Get out there and put in more effort. I wish I would catch one of my friends. We probably wouldn't be friends.
No. I'm gonna be completely honest. You come to me and talk and give that example that I just that we just gave. I'm probably not gonna be around you. I'm probably not gonna ask you to come around me either.
Nah. We leave that alone.
Until you figure it out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and I can't figure that out for you. You know what I mean? You gotta.
I'm calling you
gotta
out.
take it.
If you don't fix it, then it's done then.
Yeah,
'Cause
100%.
if you can't hold yourself accountable to that and be like, yeah, you're right. I messed up on that. I need to be more active in my relationship and in my home. Then you're not growing,
Yeah.
You can say you are, but if you're not growing in your relationship and with your wife and with your kid, you're not.
And you better not complain about sex.
No.
You better not complain about sex.
No. What are you
Oh, Mike, what are you doing?
at that point?
What are you doing? Especially if you're a husband and you come home, you don't want to do anything. And if you don't know, as a man, a woman's sex is her mind.
100%. Yeah, it's all
Oh,
mental.
man, it's all mental. Like feeling that love and that emotion and feeling taken care of and feeling safe.
Yeah.
And you provide these things as a man. You do. And if you're not out there doing that, don't complain about sex. And definitely don't complain about sex after she gives birth.
No.
Because you better be patient and you better wait.
Yeah, you gotta take. Yeah, dude. I don't know. There's so much more that like I said, man. There's so many tasks and things that you could do throughout the day that. I mean, if the first thing you're sitting and thinking about is like, man, I got to get laid right now. What are you doing? You know what I mean? I'm just gonna be serious, man. Like,
yeah.
If that's the first thing that comes to mind, like, you're probably not going in the right direction. You probably don't have a whole lot going on. It's just, I don't know. To me, genuinely, that's probably, I don't know. It's pretty sad. It's pretty sorry.
It is.
So
Go ahead.
I think that focuses your relationship more on lust than love. If you're putting sex on that high of a pedestal, then that's what that is. You're focusing on the body more than the growth as a couple, and that's where you're gonna find that true love, and that's gonna make your relationship so much better.
Oh yeah, 100%. I didn't want a daughter because I wanted to have sex. I wanted a daughter because I loved her mother. I wanted a daughter because I love the feeling of being able to take care of her mother. You know what I mean? It's a matter of, where are your intentions truly at? Like what do you want to get out of these situations? Like if you just want to have sex, wrap it up, be safe. You know what I mean? Like understand like what you're doing, what it could potentially turn into,
Sex is great, but do it right.
Yeah.
Sex is amazing, but do it right.
Just 100%, man. Just do it right.
Lust
man.
is great, but do it right.
Yeah.
Lust the right way. Lust after your wife the right way. Lust after your girlfriend the right way. Do it healthily.
Yeah.
Seriously, do it in a healthy way.
Mm-hmm.
If you want sex, have sex healthy.
Yeah.
Sex is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, be healthy with it. Especially after, if your wife just had a child, you better wait.
No, 100%, yeah.
You better wait.
Yeah.
You better be able to hold that down, man.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
But DJ, thank you for coming on this podcast, and congrats to you as a father, as a husband, and to watch you move as a father, a husband, as a person. It is truly inspirational.
Appreciate
I
it.
am more than happy to have you as a friend and as business partner, however it is. I'm just grateful that you're in my life. Seriously, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, you light a fire
Appreciate it.
underneath me every time. When I see you as a father and as a husband, you light a fire underneath me every time. So thank you for coming to the Broke Man's Podcast, man.
Yeah, man.
Seriously.
Thanks for having me. Seriously.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you guys. It's been my pleasure, genuinely.
All right, till next time, my guy.
Till next time.
Thanks, Brody.
All right.